Hi, it's Chris Senior back from C&H Small again for another informative review video. This one deals solely with AK parts and accessories and stuff like that. But as usual, I got my AK shirt on here, and what I'm going to be talking about today is specifically your pistol guard, or I should say your pistol handle right here for your hand, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, and upgrades and stuff like that. And what I got in front of me right here today, I'm giving a review for is the Arsenal rifle with a upgraded pistol grip on the actual back here as well too. My original one had the typical Arsenal US stamped made rear handguard for that as well too, and I upgraded to the Zenitco pistol grip on here for that because it's actually a lot nicer than the factory one on here for that. And basically I give it 2 thumbs up and stuff like that. I'll basically talk about the pros first and the cons as well too. The pros are it's highly it's basically a highly refined actual pistol grip on here for that. You actually have 2 compartments down here at the bottom, like store if you want to store a battery or something else on the bottom. Basically they're watertight, and you can store something in there if you want to store something very small for like cleaning supplies or some kind of small parts you need for your gun, stuff like that. But it's basically very high quality unit out there. It's built, I believe, let me get the fact sheet out here I got with the website. It is a D16T aluminum. I believe it's built aluminum on here for that because I don't see any like cast marks or anything else like that on her for that. And I believe it's milled out with solid piece right here. It's either milled or probably cast. I really don't know which, but the website says it's D16T aluminum. That's what it says off of Zenitco's website on her for that. And this basically fits any AK variant out there for that. And you can use it with gloves on, with gloves off. And it has a non-slip finish on here, and it's basically excellent whether you're using it with your basic bare hands or your gloves on as well too. It's basically, personally, it fits a lot. It feels a lot better in your hands for one thing, because I try at least probably 4 or 5 different brands of pistol grips out there for that, and the basic Arsenal and the factory stuff like that, and even some of that Tapco junk out there, it's much to be desired out there for that. I don't like telling people that, but the Tapco and some of the other Arsenal stuff is much to be desired out there for that. This thing is even better than the pistol grip on my Sam 7 SF. The pistol grip on that one is slightly enlarged over the typical factory AK pistol grip. It's actually we don't call bulged in the back, so it actually cups your hand better on her for that as well too. And this one actually looks more of what we call like more of like a blocky shape, even though it basically fits. It almost fits like contour right your actual hand right there for that. You look on the right side here. That's basically what it looks like. It basically fits like a glove out there. It's ambidextrous. You have notches right here for if you're left-handed, right-handed, so it basically fits right in there. Since if you're right-handed, you put your thumb over on this side right here. If you're left-handed like me, you basically put your thumb in the opposite side like that, and it basically fits perfect in there. It fits perfect for my hands, and it's it fits great. I can't quit talking about that, but it definitely fits perfectly fine. Because like I said before, I tried multiple different hand guards on, or the actual grips on here, and this one overall, it fits a lot better than all the other ones out there for that. And it's even better than the typical wooden and even the upgraded other ones I've seen online, like Hue or Hogue. I can't remember what the name was, but this one feels a lot smoother, and overall it's a nice piece of equipment. That's basically all the pluses. There is one big negative thing besides the actual price. The price for one of these things is about 120 bucks, and it's quite expensive. I did to sell some of my equipment. I sold a couple of my magazines, my Bakelite, and a slab side AK magazine as well too, and you actually front the cost of one of these things. I'm just trying to swap some parts for one of these things and stuff like that. And the other big downside is apparently whenever they put it on the website, they say it basically fits all AK variants out there with like hardly any minimal problem. Well, unfortunately, it basically took me about 2 hours to actually get this thing fitted to my gun personally, and the reason being was, I'll even show you here on one of my one of my other pistol grips right here. On your pistol grip in the back here, you have this big U-shaped area right here. Well, on this the Zenitco one right here, on my AKs over here, the SAM 7 variants plus the DDI variants as well too, I had to basically modify these areas right along here where it actually goes up against the magazine latch and your actual pistol guard right there. I had to modify these whole areas right along here. This thing had to be ground back, and the big kicker was in the back, right back here. This whole area, this whole big U-shaped area right back here, I had to basically grind this thing back probably about almost a quarter of an inch. It's not the same dimensions as this Arsenal US made one right here, but I basically had to grind back about a quarter of an inch, and after that it finally got basically fitted on the gun properly, even though it's still a teeny bit tight on there. Overall, I never should have had to, basically never should have had to do that, even though it's listed on Zenitco's website as fitting all AK variants and stuff like that out there for that. So be warned, if you do buy this grip right here, you may have to modify it. I'm not going to say it's going to have to be modified for every single gun out there. It's just the fact that my gun right here, my 4 guns, I basically try to swap it out on. Each gun I had to modify, or I basically, for each gun, it would not work unless the actual trigger channel right here is going to have to be modified. It's like I said before, it's a big U shape right here. I had to modify the front 2 notches right in here. These 2 areas had to be modified. This area right along here, this area right along here, plus the big portion right back here. This whole thing had to be basically ground out. I had to use a Dremel grinder. I basically had to go down the road and buy about 5 different I call them circle donut wheels. Basically, you had to put it down in this groove right here to actually grind it back a bit more so it actually fits up into the actual I'm gonna call it raised lip, where the actual portion fits right here for that. So that's basically the only major downside, or besides the price, right there for that. Other than that, the fitting function looks perfectly fine for me, guys. I don't have any problem with it other than that, but like I said before, it looks perfectly fine on the gun. You see that? It looks extremely nice. It basically, it's I don't want to call it. It actually makes the gun look more professional, if you want to call it that, personally, and it's definitely a upgrade, improvement over the factory. I cannot stress that more than what I'm saying right there. It's definitely an upgrade from the typical junk that they basically slap on your gun to the factory because it's basically cheap. You want something good, you have to spend the money for it, and unfortunately these things are well made out there for that, and it's a high quality piece, and you basically, it's non-slip, and you can wear it with gloves or without gloves as well too. And let me show you the other side picture here. There is the right side, there is the back side again, and there's a bottom 2 compartments right there. It's basically flat blade screwdriver. You put a flat like your Mosin teardown tool, you stick it up in there, and you can basically put things in those small compartments. They're only about probably about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long. It's basically a good size for like a small battery, like a AA or AAA, the one right there for that. And here's the other side as well too. Get this thing out of the way here for you. There we go. Okay. There's the other side. It has the logo in the upper corner right here. It's the, as I said before, it's the PK3. Zenitco hand guard, or I keep on calling it hand guard when it's actually the pistol grip. Sorry about that, but it's basically a excellent hand grip right there for that. And there's what it looks like from a side angle on the front right there as well too. So it basically your hand basically contours to it like that. And I really love it. It's basically really nice. And if anybody's in the market to upgrade their actual hand or actual pistol grip right there for that, I do definitely recommend it for that. 2 thumbs up. But you have to be aware of the caveat with possible fitment issues as mine right here, and you must be willing and able to at least be willing to grind off a good portion of the actual area where it fits up into the actual horseshoe channel right there as well too. Because if you got Sam's 7 version like I do right here, it will not fit. I can say it with a straight face, it will not fit, because I stuck it up in there and basically worked for 5 minutes trying to just tap it up in there, and it would not fit. And I basically had to buy a bunch of dremel grinding bits, and basically had to grind down the entire horseshoe back right here on it as well, plus the other 2 pieces up in the front, right where it actually goes right next to the guard for the actual trigger right there as well too. So just be aware of that fact, and that's all I can really tell you about it right there for that. And as usual, if anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot about this style of pistol grip right here, feel free to leave me a message on my page here, and I will try to get back to you as quick as humanly possible about any details I might have left out. So have a nice day, guys. I'll see you.